Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Talk podcast. Today's, that was a really dramatic pause. I feel like today's episode is kind of, I don't want to say relevant, but I'm going to say relevant. I kind of have been reflecting back on the little hiatus I went on over here. If you listened to last week's episode, I explained about getting sick and I had an episode go up around the time I got sick. Luckily, that was pre-recorded, and then I ended up getting sick, didn't have an episode the following week, and then as I started to get better, I still had like a lingering cough. So with talking so much and all that, the cough was just, I don't know, I didn't feel like doing it almost. I didn't feel like having to stop and like cough just to be able to like complete an episode for you guys, if that makes sense. So I decided I needed like a little break. Like, obviously, I got sick. I needed to relax, get well, kind of rest up type of thing. So I did take some time off, almost like a month, a little over a month. And during that time, I don't know how it was. I got to the point where I was like, I don't even want to think about it because I was so sick. My head was pounding. I was not in the mood for like podcast, if that makes sense. And then as I started to get better, I was like, oh my God, I need to put something out. Like, I need to start recording again. That's when I kind of knew I was getting over whatever I had, is because I really wanted to get back into recordings and the episodes and all that stuff. And it kind of put me in like a little like funk because I was like, I know I need to do this, or like I want to do this. But at the same time, I was going back and forth with myself on I shouldn't do this. Like, I should take the time, I should take a break, um, and all that stuff. So I was going back and forth with myself. And I don't know, I was kind of just gonna explain some things I did that kind of got me out of my little funk situation that I kind of went through. But at the same time, today, for some reason, I don't know what it is. Someone said it was coming up on a full moon, which would kind of make a lot of sense. I don't know what it is today. I had like such a short fuse today. I recently just got out of work, and I don't know, like today was just, I guess, not my day. I literally left work and went to go get myself a coffee. I had one this morning, but it low-key really wasn't that good. On the Starbucks app this morning, they were giving like their small iced or hot coffee for free. So I ordered myself an iced coffee, and I added like a couple pumps of like what did I get? Their gingerbread syrup, and then I added a splash of almond milk because I typically put almond milk in my coffees. Um and it wasn't the best, but I'm also not the biggest fan of Starbucks coffee, so I wasn't too surprised. I feel like it could have been worse than it was, but I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of it, so kind of had a coffee this morning. I dumped like, honestly, I would say almost half of it because I was just kind of over it. So I left. I went to Dunkin'. I got that new shaken espresso, the Sabrina Carpenter one. I tried it out. It's actually not that bad. It's actually really good. I kind of like it. I do like the shaken espresso, the brown sugar one from Starbucks. So I was like, if I like that, like I'll probably end up liking this. So I did give it a try. I got myself some munchkins as a little snack because I haven't really eaten today. I think I ate fries. And that was kind of about it. It's almost 4 p.m. So I was like, I'll get myself a little snack. I don't know. I don't know if it was my like subconscious being like, cheer yourself up a little bit, go get yourself a coffee or what, but I don't know. I've been very short fused today, so this kind of is going hand in hand with what I had went through after getting sick, and for some reason, what's been going on with me today. But anyways, streaming platforms before we get into this episode: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, anywhere you stream your podcast, or we are here on YouTube. Girls Gotta Talk podcast. Come subscribe and join the fam over here. Yeah. So as I was saying, when I got sick, I I don't know, I feel like because I'm into the podcast so much, I feel like I put a lot of pressure almost on myself to make sure I'm keeping up with it, to make sure it's the best that I can put out. Um, I don't know, like I feel like I've mentioned it before that I've focused more on the podcast most of the time than I do on like YouTube channel and almost anything else, even though I do want to get back like into YouTube. I feel like I always end up stringing myself towards the podcast more, which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but when I was sick, coming over that, like coming back into wanting to work on this, I found myself kind of getting into a funk because I didn't even know what to plan. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I know there's been stuff I've been wanting to change with the podcast in general. So I was like, should I just sit and work that out before I get back into um like doing all this? And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I kind of got myself into this situation of what should I do? Like what should I be doing right now? So I don't know, like I got in like a weird state with myself, if so to speak. And I realized that I had to that's when I kind of was like, okay, there's like the break needs to happen because I'm kind of stressing myself out. I'm still kind of sick. I want to get over it. I'm probably not going to get over being sick if I'm still like pushing myself and working a bunch and stressing myself out and all that stuff. So I kind of let go of the podcast for a minute. I think that's when I made that post. If you follow the Girls Gotta Talk Instagram page, I had made the post saying, because every week, like if I don't post an episode, I will say, like, I'm not posting an episode, but I didn't want to say every week I wasn't going to have a new one if I already knew. So I kind of put out an Instagram story saying that there wasn't going to be one. I didn't know when it was coming back. Obviously, I would like update you guys and keep you guys in the loop. But at that point, I think I was already like 2 weeks deep of missing episodes. So I was like, I don't want to go week by week trying to figure out what's going on. I was like, I'm just going to not worry about it right now. When I figure out what's going on and what I'm doing, I will update. And I kind of use that time as like a get better soon, relax, do little things for myself type of situation. I feel like that's probably the best way to get yourself out of a funk is doing things you enjoy. Whether you're putting aside, I think I put aside like a week and a half almost. I don't even remember. I was gone for more than a week, but being sick, I don't really call that as I took time off. But whether you're putting away a week, you're putting aside a month, you're putting aside a day, like you're putting aside enough time that you need to kind of recoup on yourself, and do like the little things you enjoy. I did, it was weird. So today, one of the things I'm kind of like I said, subconsciously probably like, hey, cheer yourself up because even people at work were like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. Getting yourself coffee. When I say like I didn't have coffee for a long time after I got sick, I don't know what it was, but for some reason, like it wasn't the same. Like it took me a little bit to be like, oh, like I would wake up in the morning and be like, dude, I don't even want coffee. Like I don't even want to think of coffee. Like it was not my thing anymore. And it that within itself was really weird to me because I have one, honestly, if not two per day. Um, and waking up and being like, yeah, no, like coffee is just not gonna happen today was so weird to me. And I'm glad I'm back on like my coffee kick because I don't know what it is. Like coffee just needs to be a part of my life. Yeah, I don't know. It was just that was really weird to me. So getting yourself that kind of little treat that you enjoy definitely is probably one of the best ways to get yourself out of what whatever you're kind of going through. Um, Honestly, I've been also in this it's been so cold where I live. Um, I'm kind of already in like this I want spring type of situation. We're not entering, we're like a week and a half into February, and we've gone honestly this long without like a super snowstorm. We got one recently. Honestly, like when I'm recording this, we got one as of yesterday or the day before, like through the night into yesterday morning. We got our, I would say, like first really decent snowstorm this season. We went, I would say until now, like with really next to nothing. We got some dustings here and there, maybe like an inch or two here or there, but nothing has been super bad. I would say this last snowstorm we probably got 4, maybe 5 inches. I know some places got 6. So I would say like that's our decent snowstorm we got this year. Um, I think in a couple days it's supposed to snow again. I honestly want to say like for like the next week or so, every couple of days there's supposed to be some sort of snow in the forecast. I don't know how much to be honest, but if it's going to be adding on top of like what we already have, like I'm just really not looking forward to it. I don't know, like I don't mind like the first snow. The first snow we got was like I said, like a little dusting, maybe like an inch. But like after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So now with all this snow, like I'm kind of over it. I'm over the whole winter season. I'm actually looking forward to spring, but I'm pretty sure that Groundhog saw his shadow, which gives us 6 more weeks of winter. So that'll be fun. But the other day it was cold. Like it's been really cold. But the other day it was supposed to be like 40 degrees, which is like almost like a heat wave from what we've been going through. And it was a little windy, but it still wasn't bad outside in my opinion. So, because I was able to actually like be outside for a little bit and not be like, "Oh my god, I'm freezing," or "Oh my god, I need to get inside," or "This wind chill is awful." I kind of took advantage. I picked my son up early from daycare. Like I got out of work, I want to say like 3 o'clock, and I think I literally picked him up at like 3:30. Like I picked him up super early and brought him to the park because I wanted to be outside. Like I wanted the fresh air. I haven't been able to just be outside in a while. I know I used to like pick him up and we'd go for walks before like going to have dinner or something. And like I think I'm just reminiscing on that time, and because it's been like so bad with snow and the weather and wind and super cold, like during the nights it's been like single degree, if not like negative feels like type of situation, that I'm just really, really, really wanting warmer weather and wanting to be outside and be able to do things outside. That I took advantage, picked him up. We went to the park, stayed there until honestly, I was going to stay there until it started to get dark out, but we ended up having to leave because he ended up taking a poop in his diaper and I didn't have anything on me to change him. So we literally had to leave so that I can go change his diaper. So he kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but that situation happened. So we ended up having to leave a little early than I had planned, but we were still out there for a while. So there was still snow on the ground, so he couldn't really go down like a few slides because they were all wet from all the melting snow. So he was kind of limited on what he could do and what he wanted to do, but I think he still had a good time. He loves the park, so I think the little bit he did do in the slides, he could go down that were available, I guess. He had a good time, but I don't know, like there was just something about being outside for that little bit, just it put me in like a better mood, so to speak. Just walking around the park with him. There were some things he wanted me to go on, but I feel like I'm just too big that I was kind of scared to like sit and like break it. But yeah, I don't know, just still walking around and like watching him play. It was super fun. Um Also, I know last night I was so tired. I didn't even finish. Last night was the Super Bowl from when I'm recording this. Yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday, and I work in retail. So if you work retail on a Sunday, I know some places are closed on Sundays. Um, if you work retail on Sundays, like if you work retail on the weekends, like they're hectic, they're crazy. You're expecting snow, it gets super crazy, like insanely like what is wrong with people type situations. But I worked yesterday after snowstorm and Super Bowl Sunday, and I don't know, it wasn't the greatest time. You do get super busy. A, from the weekend, B, snow, C, everyone's trying to get last minute things for their Super Bowl parties. Like, I don't know. I think I was expecting busier, but I don't know. The store itself was just, people were kind of crazy. Um, I was so tired when I got out of work that I honestly barely even watched the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. I literally started watching the game on the couch and I fell asleep. Like I literally took like a nap and I woke up and I finished watching the first half. Unpopular opinion though, like I was kind of looking forward to the Eagles winning because I don't know. I'm not a football person. I don't want to like try to sit here and like think I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about football. But I don't know, I'm just not a Chiefs fan personally. So I was really looking forward to the Eagles beating the Chiefs. I thought it would honestly be a better game because that first half, that's probably why I fell asleep. Um, the first half wasn't really like something exciting to watch type of thing. So I did fall asleep on the couch. I woke up, finished watching the first half. I really wanted to see the halftime show, which I don't know. I don't think it was bad, but I was looking forward to seeing that performance. And when I tell you, like after that performance, I literally got up, went in my room and fell asleep. Like I went to bed. Totally did not see any of the second half of the game. Um, and I was probably laying in bed by like 10 p.m. So with napping on the couch and then going to bed at 10 p.m. and then I don't think I really got up this morning until like 8 maybe 8:30. I don't think I actually fully got out of bed until like 9 when I was getting ready for work. So I feel like I slept. I don't want to say like I slept great. Like I honestly didn't really sleep that good, but I feel like with the amount of sleep I did get, I don't know, it was decent and I feel like that was another thing I kind of needed, I guess. Was just I don't know, like I'm so weird. I don't need good sleep all the time. Like obviously when you get good sleep, like you love it. I need one like good night's sleep. After that, like I could go a little bit with just like sleeping here and there and like having 4 hours here, 5 hours there. Honestly, like do I function well? No, probably not, but that's where my coffee comes into play of also why I need coffee in my life. But if I have like one night all of a sudden that's just like really good sleep, I feel like a whole new person almost. But I feel like that is also something you need when you're trying to get yourself out of a little funk. Like you just need to I don't want to say like sleep whatever away, but like honestly just sit there, relax, fall asleep and have like really good sleep. I know my brother made drinks the other night. He bought this like bartending kit. I don't know if he's just trying to become like a bartender or what, but he bought this kit and found some recipes of drinks that he wanted to try out. I He made something like a rum. I honestly don't really drink, so I don't know names of drinks. I think it was like a rum sour or something like that. He made it and I was like, this is really good. When I say I had 3 drinks that night, as I also just said, I don't drink. So 3 drinks got me feeling pretty good. I had a good buzz going on. I'm not going to lie. When I tell you I slept like a baby that night, it was amazing. Like I slept so good. And I think that's kind of what I needed with everything lately, with getting sick and this little funk, and I don't know, just taking the time to just kind of chill. I don't know. Yep, 3 drinks and like I was out. And to tell you it's probably the best sleep I've gotten in a really long time is probably an understatement, but it was so good. Um, I don't know. I guess I just did kind of like a reset. Like I did like a little reset on everything. I laid off a little bit. I took the time to just not focus on anything, if that makes sense. I did start um watching some old shows. I started watching new shows, kind of binge watching, which was kind of nice, just taking the time to sit there and just watch things I either just love or things I've been wanting to watch. I'm kind of in the middle of like 3 different series right now, which is kind of crazy, but it just depends on what I want to watch at night when I just sat down to put something on. Ever since I think I mentioned before, ever since I was in high school, I think it came out in high school. When Pretty Little Liars came on, it I think it was ABC Family. I don't think that's what it's called now. If you have cable, I don't know. I think it's Freeform now. Is that what it's? I don't know what it's called now, but um, it was on like one channel every, I don't know, a day of the week at 8 p.m. And I don't know, it just became one of my comfort shows. I watch it now on HBO Max, and I started rewatching it. I forget when, but I started rewatching it recently. So that's just been one of my shows I've just been kind of throwing on in the background for something to have on. But also just actually sitting and watching when I had and made like a minute to just sit and watch it. I've also been wanting to watch Manifest. It's on Netflix. I started watching that. That's been really good. And I've also started watching, I keep messing up the name of the show. I don't know why. I think it's called Switching Gears, Changing Gears. I forget what it's called. It's on Hulu. It's with Kat Dennings and Tim Allen. I think I've mentioned it in one of the last episodes, but that show has been really good. That comes out like Wednesdays or something like that. So I've been trying to catch up and watch those episodes, but I don't know, just sitting there and like actually giving myself the time to like start a show, get into something new, sit there and just watch some comfort shows has actually been kind of relaxing and nice. So that's been a really good time. I've also been listening to podcasts lately. I haven't really listened to like a new podcast. I've been listening to podcasts I've like always listened to, just newer episodes. I know some of them I'm kind of behind on. I have like a couple episodes to catch up on. Dropouts, hands down my favorite podcast. I've been listening to them. I know the other day they like came out with a new one, a new episode, and I still like hadn't finished the episode from the week before, so I like binge listened, I guess. Binge I kind of watched their episodes because they have like a video episode. Um, but I got up to date on that one. I've also been listening to like old episodes that I knew I really liked. There's a episode of Call Her Daddy podcast with Shay Mitchell. She had as a guest, and for some reason, like I love that episode, so I started listening to that again the other day. I don't know why, but I don't know. I've just been into, I don't want to say re-listening, because it's just that one, but like just literally sitting there and actually just listening to an episode. Sometimes I have it on in the background, and then like if I'm doing something, I'm like, oh, I don't even know what they just said. I'm like kind of listening, kind of not listening. Normally I'll listen to stuff on the drive, but I don't know. Sometimes when I'm driving and I'm listening to a podcast, like I have to turn it off because part of me is like, no, I really want to listen to music, and then I'm like, no, I kind of want to listen to a podcast. Like I just never know what I want to listen to when I'm in the car, so that becomes a problem sometimes. But I don't know. I've been making sure I like catch up on everything I need to catch up with podcast wise lately. Um, but yeah, back to what I was saying about reset. I kind of just did like a little reset. Like I stepped away from the podcast for a minute and then kind of went back to it, which kind of, I don't know, I felt like I was looking at it. I don't want to say like from a new perspective, but maybe with like a new set of eyes, I guess, because I literally let it go for like a week and then was like, okay, now let's see what I can do. Now let's see what I want to change, what I want to get into this year, because honestly, so far this year, I haven't really uploaded much. So I'm like, what do I want to start talking about this year? What do I want to bring up? What's going on out there in the podcast world? Like, I start looking at other people's podcasts and episodes and see like what they're getting into. And I don't know, I don't want to say like trending topics, but like sometimes if I see someone talk about something and I'm like, oh, I have something about that too, or oh, I can relate to that too. Let me try to plan an episode with that. But I don't know, that's just kind of been where I've been at lately, getting myself out of that little whatever funk I went through. And I feel like I'm kind of really excited about the podcast now. Like, now that I'm getting back into it, now that I'm getting back in planning, I actually am planning a guest episode coming up hopefully soon. I haven't recorded it yet. I texted the person I'm going to be doing it with, or asked if they wanted to do it. They said yes. So that was exciting right off the bat. And now I just have to figure out a time to like sit and record it. But I feel like that'll be fun super soon. So I guess look forward to that. But yeah, I guess. I don't know. Just take the time, do little things you've been wanting to do little things you love doing, make time for yourself. With that being said, that is everything I have for this episode. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you next week back with a brand new episode. Bye.